Hello everyone, my name is James Suhan. I'm a graduate support engineer here at E1 Solutions. And in this video, I'm just going to kind of go through some of the basics for some common lists that you can use in the query builder, just kind of show you how to get those tables, exactly what you're looking for, kind of lead you in the right direction for some of the more common things we see with some of your custom lists or what you want to build with the query builder list. So as you can see, we're here in Popdock. Let me just fire up the old BC connector. So we'll go right here, right into the sandbox. And we'll create a new one. So one of the first things that we're going to look at is general ledger entries. So as very common list, general ledger entries, it's used a lot. We see it here a lot with being used with custom lists. It's got a lot of the important data for your sales transactions or just anything along those lines. So, and that's a fairly big list. There's a lot of data that goes into that. So using it in like a join list or a merge, especially on the BC side of things, tends to lead to a bit of an issue with timing out and just long load times. So with that, I'm just going to kind of go through this as one of the first examples of just kind of some of the tables that you can use that still have that data that you need, but will run in a respectable amount of time, 30 seconds, however long query builder list takes, rather than 5, 10, even 20 minutes, or just outright timing out. So for this, we'll just call it general ledger entries, ledger entries tables. So we'll do that. So now we're here at the query builder. So with this, kind of one of the big things you need to know with general ledger entries is, first off, its tables are named a little bit differently in BC than you might be used to, but BC does have the inspect pages tool that will tell you the exact table you are looking at in BC. So with general ledger entries, usually the most common naming, you'll want to do G/L. Here you can see we have all sorts of GL different tables. Now the one I primarily use the most is GL entry. GL entry is one of your better tables to use for this. As you can see here, we got count ID amount, balance types. We have all sorts: credit, debit, dimension set ID, very important for your dimensions, document date, number, type, entry number, all these fields that you would want, including source code, source number, and source type. Like all the fields you could want for your general ledger entries that come standard in the list are here in GL entry. So I'll just throw a couple of those in there just for safekeeping. So another table, which, by the way, this isn't an actual demonstration. This is kind of just showing some of these tables. So don't take these joins with a grain of salt. They're not accurate. So another one for GL stuff would be GL account. And we're just going to throw throw a join on there. Now GL account, as you can see, we have a lot of these similar fields with account category, type, balance at date, budget, comments, cost type, debit, credit, ID, name, number, just some more stuff more related to the account side of things rather than the actual GL entries. So these are kind of the two that you will use when it comes to general ledger entries, and just kind of utilizing those tables within Business Central with your custom list. Like if you want to merge it with like your posted sales transactions, your invoices, whatever the case, these are kind of the field, or vendors, these are kind of the tables that you'll be looking for, as these will have those fields there. So now if I go back, the next one I want to cover is another one I see quite often, and it's posted sales invoices. So again, this is another one of those lists that we see a lot. That obviously it's your sales invoices. You want to get your invoices, know what's going where, who did what, just getting all that good detail with all that data. And again, it's a big list. There's a lot of stuff in it. Pairing it up with another big list like GLE might take a bit of time to run, could get a little hectic. So for that, kind of some of the more common tables that we use for this is, and then with anything sales, with invoices or transit purchase list, whatever the case, like these are kind of go vice versa. Like the tables are very similar between the two. Obviously, one's gonna be sales, one's gonna be purchases, but kind of the same. So for here, if I go invoice, as you can see, we have two tables right here, sales invoice header and sales invoice line. So if we bring in the header, as you can see here, you have your address, your amount, what city it's going to, currency code for our more European customers who deal with multiple currencies rather than some US where it's just one currency. We have document date, due date. Like you get the gist. Like we have all the fields we could want here from that transaction, all our different ship to, sell to, all that good stuff right there. So now if I go ahead and I add our, just do sales invoice. To our invoice line, we'll just merge them together on something. Again, these joins are not accurate. They're just so I can get the table here to show you what kind of goes into that. So now we highlight our sales invoice line, as you can see on the sides. Now we have amount, we have area, we have our bin code right there, and that's a common field we see a lot. Our description, dimension set, document number, if it's drop shipment, job number, line number. We have all sorts of those good fields right here, readily available. So these are kind of what you want to use for your posted sales invoices, is if you want to be able to merge that data with another one of those big lists or just kind of anything in general with the query builder. These tables are kind of your more bread and butter right here. And again, if there's a specific table you need, you can always find that using the inspect pages and data, which I'll kind of cover that at the end, kind of show you how that tool works. And then same goes for purchase. I can show you that right there. So, or actually, let's do the purchase ones. So we'll do posted purchase tables. So we got, so this will be more for our purchase related tables. So we got right here, you type in purchase. As you can see, we have a bunch of different tables. These are all different tables that just have the name purchase in them. As you see, we have purchase header, purchase line discount. Like there's, these two are the main ones right here, are your purchase header and your purchase line. There's also archive as well if needed, but typically you want to do purchase header, purchase line. So purchase header, again, very similar fields to how you'd see with your posted sales, where you have your address, city, document related fields, your due date, all that good stuff right there. So that's all there as well. And then if we go purchase line, and throw in our purchase line, these are more your line type fields with your amount, your area, your bin code, kind of just everything in that general area that you would need for that. It's kind of where those fields are coming in. So that kind of, so with your posted purchase and your posted sales, like essentially once you kind of have a general idea where you're looking, you'll know where to find them. You'll be able to pull those in and be able to use those. So instead of with the pre-built queries here in the connectors, so if I go to like my posted, we'll go posted sales invoices. So as you can see, there's a lot of these fields that we saw in those other tables right there that we would be wanting to use or anything like that, but we don't need all of that because all of our standard lists are essentially pre-built query builder lists that have multiple different tables brought into them, and there's data coming from all over Business Central, which is what kind of takes a while. So instead, with the query builder, limiting it to those table or two that you need shortens that time. So instead of it having to go and search through 7, 8, however many different tables to get your data, you can just search through the 1 or 2, making it quicker, a lot faster. So now kind of going through here, if I fire up the old Business Central. So kind of going into that inspect tool as I was talking about here will kind of tell you exactly what you're looking for. And that's kind of your best way to find what tables you want. So if I go finance and let's see, I'll just search it. General ledger entries right here. So here we have our general ledger entries here. They're under our cost of materials. But if we go here, we go help and support, inspect pages and data. Now we can see exactly what table is being used for that. So as you can see, we're looking at the general ledger entries right here, table, GL entry, and we can even take a look at that table in and of itself as well here inside of Business Central. So we can look into the actual table, see what's all part of this, kind of what goes into it, and there you go. So that's just kind of some of the more common things that I've seen. Obviously, there's tons of different lists. Everybody has their different lists on what they need, what they want. But those are just some of the more common ones that we see, as well as kind of showing you how we're able to find those so we know how to use those tables so we can make sure we build our best possible queries. As always, thank you for watching these videos. If you like them, keep coming back, and we'll keep making them for you. And as always, have a nice day.